Having this business for 5 years, I looked into how I can spend less and keep on earning. And when you're starting poultry farming, you need to stock feeds, and that is what we are doing. We are restocking because the cost of feeds they dropped a little bit. So you stock to your maximum. After some time, you keep on buying the feeds that your chicken can consume, maybe weekly, until when the market prices increase. That is when you have to use the stocked feeds. The same applies to the nutrients. They're also seasonal, like fish. They increase in costs and also drop. So there is time when you can buy a kilogram of fish meal at 2,500, 3,000, and there is time where you can buy a kilogram at 4,000 plus. And for more egg production, you have to use some good kilograms of fish meal so that they can lay. This is the fish meal that we stocked, and we are still restocking because the costs of are increasing. These fish are sold in different quality. You can find a good quality of fish that can increase the egg production faster, and that is when you need to use 18 kilograms of fish in 100 kilograms of maize bran. And when the quality is not good, that is when you use at least 20 kilograms in 100 kilograms of maize bran. It helps a lot to maximize the production of your chicken. I decided to do poultry because it's a game-changing business. For me, once you start to raise chicken, you're going to face some challenges. And the moment you learn how to handle them, then the business will run very well. For example, minimizing the cost of feeds, medication, etc. I like feeding my chicken greens, and it helps them to increase the immunity, to boost the immunity, and that is what I'm doing. I grow my greens in the garden, and now I'm feeding them sukuma, wheat, and cabbages, even the onions. So they help a lot in boosting the immunity of the chicken. Sometimes I cut them into smaller pieces, and sometimes I just give them the leaves the way they are. Starting poultry farming, I looked into something that can bring cash in bulk, and that was poultry. Consistently, you can make money from poultry. But the truth is, it requires you to be a hardworking person, a patient person, and also to be a strategic person. Being a strategic person, there is seasons of stocking feeds. Then you're strategic. You have to buy feeds. You have to look into that so and so sells the feeds expensively. Then I have to look for someone else to buy the feeds on a low cost. There are people who sell the feeds expensively, and there are people who sell feeds a little bit cheap. There are people who sell quality feeds, and there are people who cannot do that. For them, they just sell, especially when the feeds increase, they start to mix maize bran with sand. You find someone is selling a little bit cheap, but he or she mixed up the brand with sand. So the chicken are going to get sick. They are not going to increase their production, and those are just lessons. So when you're starting, you have to learn each and everything. Be strategic. The business will work for you. This business is not something that you can start and harvest in just weeks, but once you begin or you start this business, you expect to get results as long as you give them what they need. Once in a while, I give this chicken eggshells and charcoal, and I make sure that I mix them a small portion of feeds, and I give them charcoal to remove the coccidiosis from this chicken, and also Calcium is supplemented by the eggshells. So these are eggshells and charcoal. They are good supplements for the chicken. So minimize the cost of feeds by using these simple remedies. I'll give you an example. When you buy chicks in the beginning, you're always given formulas to help you feed your chicken the right way, but sometimes they tend to be expensive. And when you sit down and calculate, this formula might turn to be very expensive, and you might find that you're getting very few profits. Or when the feeds costs increases, you find yourself not earning a coin from your chicken or from your eggs. And for me, that is where I started from. I was using an expensive formula. Then I came up with my own formula that helped me reduce the cost of feeds. And that has kept me earning from the chicken stress-free. Actually, this business is a game changer for me. And that is the reason why I'm using the fish meal as my protein, because where you use 50 kilograms of a concentrate, I use 30 kilograms of fish meal, and I found it very cheap for me. And the chicken keep on adding on eggs every single day, and whenever I increase on the kilograms of fish, you find that you can collect extra bigger eggs from the chicken almost every single day. I'm not saying that a concentrate is bad. No, I started from there, and I still use a 5% concentrate once in a while, not every time I mix up the feeds. But learning how to minimize the cost of feeds always helps you to drive you to your business goals. I'll give you an example. We once bought a concentrate at 150,000 Ugandan shillings, and there is a time when we bought a concentrate at 250,000 Ugandan shillings. So that was the time when someone had to wake up and look for something that can be cheaper so that the farm survives. So you can find limestone 50 kilograms at 23,000 Ugandan shilling, and you can find the same bag at 18,000 Ugandan shillings. So it is better to look for something that can save you and keep on earning. And that is how this business has grown from zero to where we are right now. And my emphasis is on start when you're ready. Don't just jump and start anyhow. Start when you're ready, because every day you need to cash out.